So is there anything in terms of what we teach where you guys feel like you need a little bit more clarification, or are you gents starting to understand a lot of the principles that we discuss, that we teach a lot better?
You know, me, I'm understanding it, right? But as I said in the other video, each video I tend to grasp a little bit more, and I have done here. What I think I'm trying to grasp, Dave, is what is ungraspable, if that's a word. I'm trying to find your logic in your thinking, in your experience, and I haven't got it to be able to do that. So I'm clutching on straws in a certain way, you know.
Yeah.
It's because the thing is, a lot of it is based off real time instincts,
Yeah.
and that's the only thing that's separating you from us, Cam, is literally time. Because once you're able to react in real time situations, because we can back test all day and show you how the method works, right?
Yeah.
But it comes down to when you have the chance to shoot, are you going to shoot, and do you have everything ready for you to shoot?
Beautiful, bro. Yeah, Cris put that so beautifully, man.
In
real time, the situations are always different. The principles are always the same, but every situation is different. And Cris put that so beautifully. And it's like that Navy SEAL analogy where you're given everything you need to be prepared for combat, but the thing is you're never prepared up until you're in fucking combat.
Yeah.
And every situation is dynamic, dude. Like, you know how to shoot, you know how to duck, you know how to fucking kill. But the thing is, it's like, you know, maybe one situation you're surrounded by two guys, the next a whole fucking army of guys, and then you got to figure shit out on the fly. It's the same thing with trading.
You run at that point. You run.
Yeah, and you run, and that point it's instinctual. It's instinctual, and like you can't. Yeah, it's hard, man. Some guy, and every person is different. Some soldier's gonna be a dumbass and stay there and get shot at, while the other one's like, "Yo, fuck this, I'm running." You know, that's the same thing with trading. Everybody's gonna do things differently.
The last fight, I won by a good 200 yards. I always say that.
Yeah, no. If Sun Tzu said, man, if over surrounded, that's when you got to be weak and just flee the scene. There's no point in trying to be strong for pride.
Was it Sun Tzu?
Oh, dude, that book is just so good.
It's so good, yeah.
I
can't see where I've read it a few times, but I can't see when it applies to trading. But I'm known to be thick.
No, it's just I know trading and warfare they're not akin in terms of obviously what the profession is, but the strategic element of it is ever so present in it, man. I already have the audiobook of like The Art of War, and I listen to that shit every day like it's religion, at least once a day, because the principles are ever so present, and it's like, I think the thing that always stood out to me in that book, I never forget it. I have it written down on a Post-it. All warfare is based on deception. When you are strong, present yourself to be weak. When you are weak, present yourself to be strong.
That is absolutely correct. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's the same thing.
High ground. That's the only thing I can remember of it. It's fight from a higher ground. And also the chopping off of the heads of the concubines.
Another thing, man. And just trading is all about deception and manipulation and just trying to be one step ahead of the next guy. Or just be ahead of, not ahead of the institutions, but seeing where they're leaving those footprints and how we can hop on board. We're not trying to outsmart them because we can't outsmart them. We don't have the information that we have. We're just waiting for them to leave their mark and then for us to act on that. And that's crazy. It's crazy. Every trader's different, but trust me, guys, if I could just take everything that was in my head and just give it to you, I would. But Cris and I, we could teach you the basics, the principles, the technicals, the mechanics of this like nobody's business. But the artistry element, it's you're gonna get it or you don't. At this point, I could tell you it's gonna take you time, experience, and this and that. But you're either gonna get it or you don't, and that's pretty much it, man.
Or you could ignore good advice like me.
What's up?
Or you can ignore good advice like me.
I mean, we did say if you believe in your idea, hang on to it, man. I'm not going to be upset with you. I'm not going to hound you on it.
I have to. I've got. You said a long time ago to me, "Can you take responsibility?" And I have taken responsibility for that trade.
That's it, exactly. And if you get cleaned out, you watch all your profits wither away. If you can step back and be like, you know what, I should have, but I didn't, and that's okay. On to the next trade.
Yeah,
if you can do that without fucking your process up, you're okay, man.
Yeah, the unfortunate thing in this game, Liam, is you tend to learn more from your losses than your wins. So just make sure that that if you lose, you understand why and you don't do it again, because it's just unfortunate that in this game, your lessons really do come in losses. You don't really take much from winning other than just cashing out and seeing your idea go your way. But it's those losses that really teach you a lot of things, not only about yourself but your trading method.
Yeah, and it's a thing that you guys will always get in time. At the end of the day, this is a dynamic profession, so you have to act dynamically and behave dynamically, and just be diligent in your process every single day. And eventually, it just will click. There will be days where you're not on your shit. There's going to be other days where you're literally in sync with the markets. As Cris and I, we mentioned countless times, whenever Cris and I trade, it feels like we're plugging into the fucking matrix, man. And when I'm in that state of synchronicity, that's when I'm on my best.
Yep.
And right now, this whole week, I feel out of sync, hence why I didn't take a fucking trade. Just because I'm like, I don't see the things that I'm seeing right. I mean, I did take a trade with the euro early in the week, but I settled for the loss. And I'm glad that I settled for the loss, because I would have taken a bigger hit than I would have taken like a 2-3 grand hit as opposed to the $500 hit that I took.
Yeah.
You've taken responsibility for yourself.
Oh, he does. You can see he does. But
yeah, and that's it, man. I said I'd much rather take a small hit than a big hit. And if I see something good, I'll take it. And if I don't, I'm not concerned about it, man, because I have already – I like, how much more money could I fucking possibly need, dude? Like, I think once you reach a stage in your trading where you've made your money, you've gotten your consistency down, you never feel rushed, man. I don't feel rushed at this point in my life. I don't have the need to make any more money than I've already made. The money is nice, but that level of patience of that I have now, I didn't have earlier in my trading career. Because as a trader, man, when you're trying to just make it, I guess, quote unquote, you feel like you have to prove something not only to yourself, but to others, whether you consciously or subconsciously know it or not. And based off that, you feel like you have to hit your stride very quickly. And nothing could be further from the truth. If I could go back in time and change anything, it would just be, dude, stop trying to hit that lottery trade. Stop trying to make that big win, or stop over leveraging yourself. And I would have had a less stressful journey, and I probably would have picked it up a lot more quickly if I was just taking appropriately sized trades and I was focused more on my process than I was on all the wrong things, which was money. And I know that's so hard to come from. At the time, I always hated it when I would hear a bunch of traders, at least the big successful ones, like on fucking YouTube or on books or whatever. The main core thing to their success was never focus on the money. Never focus on the money. And the thing that pissed me off about that was like, well, we're fucking traders. That's all we focus on is the money. Then what's the point of doing this if you're not in it for the money? And now that I'm on the stage, it's like, yeah, the money is important, but
keep saying that, I've got a load of money.
yeah, but it distorts your, if that's your sole focus in this business, it will distort your process. And yeah, I think that's why my consistency and my strike rate has been up the fucking roof lately, is because I'm really focused on that high quality selection of trades. And I'm not in that need to make any form of money. All my bills are covered. Like last month, I made enough money to withdraw enough money to cover all my fucking bills. Everything else outside of this is icing on the cake. I have plenty of money in the bank, plenty of money in cash. Like in the event, if I didn't even trade for a whole fucking year, I'm okay. But, you know, at this point, it becomes more of a game. Like you enjoy the sport of it, the art of it, and just the identity of being a trader. I think that to me is what it hits me. And little by little, man, little by little, you guys will get this stuff down. I have nothing but immense faith in all of you. But yeah, I there's just some things that we can't articulate to you. We can articulate the mechanics and all of that, but the artistry element of it, you're either going to get it or you don't. And if you don't get it, you're probably just going to end up being frustrated year after year. But don't be too quick to give up, because everybody's learning curve is different.